Saya mulai ya. Oke, welcome to seminar ya, webinar study in China. Kali ini kita membahas University of International Business and Economics ya, atau disingkatnya menjadi UIBE. Kami dari Cerdas Bangsa ya, dari Cerdas Bangsa. Kami sudah berdiri sejak tahun 2000 dan kepala sekolah kami yang tadi sudah diperkenalkan oleh Pak Yoko namanya Profesor Maharani PhD atau biasanya dipanggil Chen Laoshi ya. Mm-mm. Ah, ah. Eh, jadi susunan acara malam ini adalah saya memperkenalkan siapa kami, lalu why study in China, why has to be UIBE gitu ya. Lalu bagian kedua adalah go into deep dengan dari Dr. Ivan Sarafanov ya, beliau adalah Direktur Emission Office dari UIBE. Lalu yang ketiga adalah tanya jawab ya, tanya jawab di bagian akhir. Jadi sepintas tentang Cerdas Bangsa, kami sudah berdiri sejak tahun 2000, berarti sudah 26 tahun ya. Dan rata-rata barangkali udah lebih tua daripada teman-teman di sini nih yang baru mau pergi kuliah ya. Lalu kepala sekolah kami tadi udah disebut, lalu kegiatan kami banyak ya, diantaranya kelas-kelas Chinese, kelas-kelas study ke China, kelas-kelas Mandarin, company training, institutional training ya. Lalu offshore kampus bagi beberapa kampus di Indonesia, di China ditempatkan di tempat kami di Cerdas Bangsa. Lalu kami membantu bimbingan HSK dan bimbingan persiapan kuliah atau kita sebut intensive class for studying in China ya. Offshore kampus kami terdiri dari Huazhou University, lalu Capital Normal University, mereka menyelenggarakan program di tempat kami. Dan khusus yang malam ini kita bahas adalah offshore campus dari University of International Business and Economics. Dalam hal ini kami dipercaya oleh UIBE untuk menyelenggarakan program foundationnya di sini di Indonesia ya. Lalu kami sudah membantu murid berangkat sekolah ke China kurang lebih sekitar udah 5.000 sekarang ya. Lalu bimbingan HSK kami sudah membantu kurang lebih 800-an orang untuk lulus HSK sesuai dengan target mereka. Mereka mencapai targetnya gitu ya, karena ada bimbingan kelasnya. Oke, sekarang kita masuk ke why study in China. Kenapa nggak ke tempat lain atau kuliah di Indonesia? Why China gitu kan ya? Tentu mesti ada sesuatu yang lebih supaya kita mau sekolah di sana, ya kan? Nah, pertama-tama adalah kualitas pendidikan. Kalau kita perhatikan ranking-ranking dunia dalam bentuk apapun ya, QS lah, apalah ya, time higher education ranking ya, semua ranking itu menunjukkan hal yang sama, yaitu Universitas China semakin hari semakin mendominasi posisi-posisi atas ya, gitu. Lalu karena kita sekolah di sana ya, itu akan sangat membantu kita karir dan bisnis. Kita mau berkarir, kita bisa Mandarin, kita tahu ilmu-ilmu sana, apakah itu ilmu ekonomi atau ilmu engineering ya, atau science, chemistry, whatever it is gitu ya, akan sangat bagus gitu. Karena China kan sekarang adalah pemimpin dunia di high tech ya, high tech. Ada apa namanya? Ada satu penelitian dari Australia, di dunia ini tuh ada 77 bidang high-tech dunia ya, dan China menempati 64 high-tech, 64 high-tech ditempati China. Lalu sisanya baru ditempati oleh Amerika untuk bidang high-tech ya. Jadi sangat bagus untuk kita belajar di sana, bisa menunjang karir kita dalam bidang apapun, mau kerja profesional sebagai di bisnis atau scientist atau engineer, cocok ya. Atau kalau kita mau berbisnis ya, tentu China adalah pabriknya dunia ya, tentu bisnis akan sangat mudah dengan mereka ya. Semua barang yang kita pakai hari ini kan rata-rata made in China gitu ya. Lalu karena di China itu orang asingnya banyak, orang lokalnya apalagi lebih banyak ya, orang asingnya banyak, jadi networking kita akan luas. Kita bisa mengenal orang dari mana aja gitu ya. Dalam satu sekolah aja seperti UIB ini, dia punya murid itu dari 160 negara. Bukan 160 orang ya, tapi 160 negara. Gitu. Jadi satu sekolah aja sudah 160 negara. So your networking will be very wide and deep gitu ya. Kalau kamu mau bergaul, itu manusia dari 160 negara ya. Nah, karena kita banyak bergaul dengan orang asing di sana dan orang lokal, kita tentu menambah wawasan internasional. Ya, kita mendengarkan cerita mereka, negara mereka seperti apa, itu semuanya akan menjadi modal aset buat diri kita nantinya. Lalu biaya kuliah dan biaya hidup di China itu masih murah. Dibandingkan Indonesia pun masih lebih murah kuliah di China. Apalagi kalau kita bandingkan dengan negara Eropa, Amerika, Australia, ya itu 1 tahun kalau nggak 4-5 M gitu ya, itu very expensive. Sedangkan di China 600 juta sudah cover semua, udah all in, termasuk makan, tempat tinggal, uang sekolah, textbook, asuransi pelajar, apa semuanya udah termasuk pokoknya, ya. Jadi sangat murah. Dan itu kita ngomong tidak beasiswa ya. Kalau beasiswa ya tentu lebih murah lagi. Lalu di sana selain kita sekolah, kita juga belajar budaya dan bahasa setempat ya, karena bahasa dan budaya itu adalah soft skill ya. Soft skill itu membantu kita meningkatkan kita punya interpersonal skill ya kan, sehingga kita nanti uh, luwes bergaul, disenangi orang ya, kita ngomong nyambung ya. Jadi itu semua adalah modal kita untuk memupuk diri kita untuk menjadi aset diri kita di masa depan ya. Jadi maksud saya itu gini loh, kita ini kan masih masa sekolah. Masa sekolah itu adalah masa training, masa persiapan diri kita sebelum kita terjun ke dunia kerja atau ke masyarakat. Nah, jadi selama kamu masih lagi kumpulin modal diri untuk supaya nanti terjun ke masyarakat itu bisa sukses, ya semua yang bisa meningkatkan kita punya kemampuan, kita punya wawasan, ya kita punya perspektif, itu akan sangat baik buat kita, ya. Lalu kalau di China kita hidup mandiri, ya kan, apa-apa harus sendiri, mengatur waktu, mengatur uang, mengatur perjalanan, mengatur whatever, mengatur makan, apapun kita atur sendiri. Jadi kita belajar hidup mandiri, ya tidak ada lagi tuh papa mama yang bangun pagi, udah mau masuk kelas, udah mau masuk kuliah, terlambat nanti, ya nggak ada lagi kan. Semuanya adalah kita yang mengatur, ya itu kita belajar mandiri, belajar disiplin, belajar menghargai waktu, belajar menghargai uang, belajar menghargai peluang, ya. Nah, semua ini akan memupuk kita menjadi percaya diri. Kalau kita udah biasa sendiri kan kita lebih percaya diri. Kalau nggak kan kita kayaknya, aduh bisa nggak ya gue ya? Aduh nggak ada papa mama nih. Aduh nggak ada koko nih. Gue bisa nggak ya? Akan ragu-ragu gitu ya. Nah, lalu yang terakhir, China adalah negara yang sangat-sangat-sangat aman sekali. Jadi nggak usah takut ada masalah apa di sana ya. Nggak ada itu yang penembakan masalah atau apalah yang aneh-aneh gitu ya. Nggak ada di sana. Aman. Barang-barang kita juga aman ya, kita taruh di meja, kita pergi makan restoran itu nggak akan hilang gitu ya, aman sekali di sana. Nah sekarang why UIBE ya kan, kenapa harus UIBE gitu, karena UIBE ini menawarkan banyak hal yang baik ya buat kita belajar di sana ya. Jadi UIBE itu didirikan tahun 51 ya, udah lama sekali. Sekarang muridnya ada 16.000 mahasiswa, eh, sekitar 3.300 itu mahasiswa asing terdiri dari 162 negara yang tadi saya bilang itu. Ya, jadi your networking will be very wide gitu ya. Dan sekolah ini termasuk dalam sekolah pilihan, sekolah unggulan yang mereka kategorikan sebagai Project 211 ya. Ini adalah proyek yang disusun oleh Kementerian Pendidikan di China yang mereka mengidentifikasi universitas-universitas unggul yang akan dikasih funding lebih besar agar sekolah-sekolah ini yang dalam proyek ini daftar mereka ini bisa berkembang lebih cepat, lebih pesat karena mendapat dukungan khusus dari pemerintah ya. Lalu mereka juga termasuk double first class university ya. Nanti Google aja apa itu double first class university. Nah, ini orang-orang top juga menjadi akademisi di UIBE seperti Michael Spence gitu ya, Stephen Perry dan Andreas Loescher, itu semuanya mereka ada posisi di UIBE, posisi akademik di UIBE ya. Lalu UIBE saat ini sudah bekerja dengan lebih dari 160 universitas dan organisasi internasional di seluruh dunia. Ya, uh, merupakan universitas dengan peringkat kedua yang lulusannya paling cepat terserap oleh dunia kerja. Ya kan, ini kan tanda bagus ya. Artinya mereka itu dicari, mereka itu ditunggu oleh pemberi kerja, oleh perusahaan-perusahaan karena lulusan mereka sudah membuktikan diri bahwa bisa bekerja nanti setelah lulus gitu ya. Jadi mereka ini karena udah ada reputasi seperti itu, mereka menunggu nih mahasiswa dari sekolah ini. Ya, nah ini kurang lebih uh, depannya ya, kompleksnya besar, di tengah kota juga, tengah kota Beijing. Universitas UIBE ranking 10 besar di China untuk jurusan ekonomi dan bisnis. Ya, tergantung tahun yang kita lihat, peringkat apa yang kita lihat. Pokoknya dia antara 3 sampai 10 gitu naik turunnya, atau kita lihat peringkat yang berbeda-beda karena dia punya matriksnya untuk penilaiannya berbeda-beda, maka didapat rankingnya berbeda-beda. Tapi selalu within top 10 gitu ya. Untuk dari Departemen Pendidikan China, mereka udah top 5% kepada UIBE. Untuk international trade ranking 1, untuk ekonomi terapan ya applied economics itu peringkatnya sangat tinggi. Lalu untuk business administration sangat kompetitif di tingkat nasional. Ya, kalau untuk business schoolnya ya UIBE berdasarkan ranking dari Times Higher Education Ranking tahun 2026, UIBE itu di dunia mendapati urutan 251 sampai 300. Sedangkan UI, tahu UI ya, universitas kita di Indonesia, rankingnya adalah ini. Untuk dari peringkat yang sama, dari Time Higher Education Ranking yang sama ya. Jadi kita bisa lihat ya, ranking UIBE dan ranking universitas di Indonesia. Ya. Lalu tadi sudah disebutkan juga oleh Pak Yoko ya, top 3 best university Chinese Finance and Economics University menurut ARWU tahun 2025 juga, tahun 2026 juga ya, peringkat 3. Lalu tadi sudah disebutkan adalah bagian dari proyek 211 dan Double First Class Universities. Nah, ini tampilan. Jadi saya selang-seling biar nggak bosan gitu ya. Ini adalah lingkungan dari UIBE ya. Oke, lalu berikutnya UIBE adalah satu-satunya universitas yang mendapat 3 Crown and CAMEA ya, yaitu peringkat-peringkat ini, 4 ini. Tadi sudah disebutkan juga oleh Pak Yoko ya. Ini adalah bukan peringkat, ini akreditasi dari badan internasional kepada setiap universitas. Apakah memenuhi syarat mereka tidak? Ya, jadi kalau memenuhi syarat berarti universitas ini bagus gitu pengajarannya. Ya, biasanya universitas itu dapat 1 atau 2, maksimal 3, tapi UIBE bisa dapat sampai 4 akreditasi, which is very very good ya, yang sangat-sangat baik. Lalu tadi sudah disebut employment rate nomor 2 di China ya, tadi sudah disebut. Program mereka banyak ya, bukan ini semua bidang mereka ada ya, komputer juga ada, ekonomi ada, semua ada. Tapi khusus ekonomi mereka memang unggulnya tuh di ekonomi ya, mereka memang spesialis di ekonomi. Lalu mereka ada program foundation untuk membantu kita nih foundationnya untuk bisa masuk ke S1 dengan lebih mudah ya. Nah, yang tadi saya bilang Cerdas Bangsa ditunjuk sebagai tempat penyelenggara program foundation ya. Nah, ini adalah plakat yang diberikan oleh UIBE kepada Cerdas Bangsa ya. Lalu kita masuk langsung ke foundation ya, karena ini foundation ini untuk mendukung kita masuk universitas. Kita mau masuk universitas UIBE secara langsung akan lebih sulit ya daripada kita kalau masuk melalui program foundationnya. Ya, dan foundationnya itu juga ada 2. Kita bisa mengambil foundationnya di Indonesia, di Cerdas Bangsa, atau kita mengambil foundationnya di kampusnya gitu ya. Cuman kalau ambil di kampusnya berarti kita harus tamat SMA, pergi ke UIBE, bukan kuliah dulu, tapi foundation dulu setahun, baru nanti kuliahnya di tahun kedua. Berarti total akan menghabiskan waktu 5 tahun, ya kan? Nah, sedangkan kalau foundationnya di kita, di Cerdas Bangsa di Indonesia, itu teman-teman nih bisa membarengi foundationnya itu dengan SMA-nya. Kan enak, jadi nggak habis waktu. Jadi begitu tamat SMA, sudah tamat foundation. Jadi berangkat ke China, ke UIBE, sudah langsung kuliah tahun pertama. Total kuliah jadinya cuma 4 tahun, tidak harus 5 tahun ya. Jadi lebih menyingkat waktu gitu ya. Dan di samping itu karena kita udah preparation untuk foundation, kita akan lebih mudah menghadapi ujian CSCA ya. Oke. Pelajaran yang dipelajari untuk foundation ini ada ini semua ya, General Chinese ya, which is HSK kita sebut. Terus Chinese for academic purpose, untuk Chinese untuk keperluan akademis ya, bahasa-bahasa ekonomi gitu ya. Lalu matematika Chinese, lalu ada business study and economics, lalu ada pelajaran bahasa Inggris juga ya. Jadi ini semua diajarkan di foundation. Oke. Nah, terus yang tadi saya bilang, ini kita memudahkan murid untuk bisa kuliah di UIBE dengan lewat foundation ya. Karena sekarang CSCA ini sudah menjadi pelajaran wajib sudah menjadi pelajaran wajib ya, bagi mahasiswa asing untuk ikut ujian. Sorry, bukan pelajaran, tes wajib bagi mahasiswa ya, mahasiswa asing. Nah, jadi dengan mengambil foundation, karena udah dipelajari dulu ya, tadi kan pelajarannya udah kita sebut nih, ada matematika Chinese, ada Chinese for academic purpose, karena dua ini yang dites oleh CSCA, kita jadi lebih mudah pass, lebih mudah lewat, lebih mudah lulus. Kalau udah lulus ya tentu kita meneruskan ke UIB ya, no problem ya. Terus kedua, karena kita adalah murid foundationnya, itu kita diprioritaskan, kita akan mendapat privilege prioritas untuk beasiswa UIBE. Oke. Oke. Lalu selain itu, karena kita udah ada persiapan seperti ini, semua diajarkan dalam bahasa Mandarin kecuali Inggris ya, kita udah lebih siap untuk kuliah gitu ya, untuk kuliah dibandingkan dengan misalnya kita datang hanya berdasarkan HSK, lalu kita coba mempersiapkan ini aja nih, les mungkin les 3 bulan demi hanya bisa untuk lulus CSCA gitu ya. Dibandingkan dengan kita persiapan secara menyeluruh, kita akan lebih mudah nanti untuk kuliah karena kita udah lebih siapkan pelajaran-pelajaran ini, udah kita pelajari dulu di foundation sebelum kita masuk kuliah gitu. Jadi itu akan membuat kita di kuliah itu kita lebih ringan belajarnya karena kita udah dapet sebelumnya gitu loh, kita udah cicil 1 tahun sebelumnya ya. Jadi kita sebut memudahkan murid mengikuti perkuliahan di UIBE nantinya ya. Jadi tadi sudah saya bilang kita bisa go paralel ya. Kalian lagi SMA, kalian juga bisa ambil foundation ya kan. Jadi paralel. Jadi begitu tamat SMA, foundationnya juga selesai, kalian tinggal kuliah aja, tidak perlu foundation setahun lagi. Oke. Jadi lebih menghemat waktu ya. Jadi tamat SMA bisa langsung kuliah. Oke. Syarat untuk masuk ke foundation UIBE kami itu HSK 2 ya. HSK 2 kita akan kebut kamu sampai dapat HSK 4 atau 5 kalau memang kalian punya waktu banyak, penerimaan kalian cepat, kalian bisa sampai HSK 5 sebelum berangkat setelah programnya selesai, kalian kemungkinan bisa dapat HSK 4 itu mesti itu. Ada kemungkinan kalau teman-teman tuh rajin ya, bisa sampai HSK 5 ya. Nah, jadi khusus untuk murid cerdas bangsa dari Foundation UIBE, untuk murid cerdas bangsa, kita dipermudah, cukup HSK 4 sudah bisa masuk ke UIBE kuliah. Ya, kalau kita daftar langsung ke UIBE-nya itu butuh HSK 5. Jadi kita dipermudah. Tadi kan kita dipermudah karena kita mengambil persiapannya, CSCA-nya lebih gampang lolos. Kedua yang dipermudah adalah kita cukup hanya dapat HSK 4. Sudah bisa kuliah di UIBE ya. Oke, lalu kita jadwal intake kami untuk UIBE ya, untuk foundation. Intake-nya itu adalah 22 April untuk yang HSK 4. Ya, begitu masuk kami langsung akan kasih pelajaran matematika in Chinese. Itu harus punya HSK 4, masuk di 22 April. Oke. Lalu kalau yang HSK-nya 2 itu dimulainya 4 Mei 2026. Ya, mulainya PB26. Jadi kita kalau yang ini yang 22 April ini masuk HSK 4 itu teman-teman cukup ambil foundationnya 1 semester saja, 1 semester ya. Lalu kalau yang HSK-nya 2 itu perlu ambil foundation 1 tahun, dimulainya 4 Mei 2026. Oke. Jadi nanti tamatnya itu adalah di April 2027. April 2027 ya. Jadi teman-teman masih cukup waktu untuk ikut tes CSCA. Udah siap nih, udah siap banget dah karena udah 1 tahun belajar kan. Untuk ikut tes CSCA bisa ambil jadwal ujian yang bulan Maret atau April tahun 2027 gitu ya. Dan saya rasa ini juga cukup lega buat teman-teman ya, karena selepas April, teman-teman di SMA 3 kan pasti banyak exam ya, ujian tamat sekolah gitu ya. Jadi kita selesai April, teman-teman masih ada waktu buat uh, apa namanya konsentrasi full di SMA 3 final examnya ya. Lalu setelah April selesai, kita mendaftarkan teman-teman ke kuliah UIBE. Uh, kalau semua memenuhi syarat, pasti akan keterima, ya kan, karena muridnya sendiri, ya. Kalau misalnya CSA-nya cukup, ya, HSK-nya cukup, itu pasti diterima di UIB, dan kalian akan kuliah di September 2027, ya. Jadi saya ulang, mulainya 22 April untuk yang HSK 4, atau 4 Mei untuk yang HSK 2, ya. Ini cukup setengah tahun belajarnya, ini 1 tahun belajarnya, oke? Lalu belajar, selesai bulan April, ini yang 1 tahun ya, selesainya April 2027. Selesai, terus bisa ujian CSCA bulan Maret atau April, habis itu nanti September 2027 sudah kuliah. Ya, uang sekolah di UIBE Foundation 1 tahun, 2 semester, 1 tahun ada 21.000. Yang 1 semester yang punya HSK 4 cukup ikut 1 semester, biayanya 11.000 per mimpi. Ya, total jam belajar 1 tahun adalah 1.080 jam, atau yang 1 semester 540 jam. Ya, kalau kita rata-ratakan dengan biaya ini ya dibagi dengan jam ini kurang lebih ya 45.000 lah per jam untuk 1 jam pelajaran ya, biayanya per 1 jam pelajaran. Nah, ya itu nggak ada beda jauh kan dengan kita les Mandarin kan, ya kan? Les Mandarin pun 80.000 kali 1 jam ya. Jadi masih lebih murah. Lalu kualitas kurikulumnya jangan diragukan lagi, karena semua kita di sini itu pakai kurikulum langsung dari UIBE. Guru native speaker kami ada 10 ya, ada 10. Lalu kita juga ada guru lokal 11. Guru lokal kami 11, guru native kami 10. Dan semuanya adalah lulusan dari China, rata-rata S2 ya. Guru S3 kami ada 2 orang. Guru S2 kami ada 9 gitu ya. Jadi total udah 11 orang, S1 dan S2. Lalu mata pelajaran yang tadi pelajari sudah disebutkan ya, matematika, Chinese, Inggris, Chinese for academic purpose, business study and economics ya, Chinese comprehension. Ini penting nih buat kalian nanti kalau kuliah tuh mau tulis paper, mau tulis skripsi ya. Ada ilmunya juga kita menulis skripsi itu ya, ada tata bahasanya, ada ya banyak hal yang kita harus kuasai agar kita bisa menulis paper dengan baik gitu ya. Lalu ada reading, listening, speaking, dan writing. Ya, ini semua kita ajarkan supaya nanti di kuliah kalian tidak ada masalah. Ya. Lalu tadi disebutkan kita diprioritaskan untuk mendapatkan beasiswa di UIBE. Kelas-kelas kami sifatnya hybrid, jadi bisa hadir di kelas kami di Cerdas Bangsa di daerah Pluit, atau mau go online itu juga boleh ya, atau misalnya dikombinasikan juga boleh. Misalnya hari-hari tertentu datang belajar di sini, hari-hari tertentu belajar dari jarak jauh, itu no problem ya. Program foundation ini kita juga ada murid yang bukan tinggal di Jakarta ya, tinggalnya di luar kota. Jadi sekali lagi program ini akan menghemat waktu Anda, karena Anda mengambil foundationnya itu selagi masih SMA, jadi menghemat waktu 1 tahun gitu ya. Lalu biayanya berapa biayanya? Kita lihat biayanya di sini. Oh, kok kecil ya? Gambarnya kok kecil ya? Bentar, saya besarkan dulu. Oh ya, oke, nggak apa-apa. Kita lihat ini aja. Foundationnya sendiri itu 1 tahun tuh 48,4 juta lah ya, 50 juta lah kita taruh ya, cuma uang sekolah dan uang buku saja, uang buku selama setahun ya, uang buku selama setahun. Coba saya kecilkan. Kalau misalnya kita lihat begini, nah ini totalnya ya. Tadi sekolah uang sekolah dan foundationnya lah ya, total ya itu 50 juta. Lalu kita kuliah selama 4 tahun, itu ini biayanya kurang lebih 600-an juta ya. Itu dengan asumsi kita tidak dapat beasiswa ya, beasiswanya belum kita perhitungkan, kita anggap nol gitu ya. Nah itu masih segitu. Jadi kalau kita rata-ratakan 1 tahun foundation plus 4 tahun kuliah, total tuh setahunnya rata-rata tuh 132 juta. 132 juta udah all in. Apa aja include? Include ini semua nih. Akomodasi, uang sekolah, biaya buku, residen permit, asuransi, uang makan, uang pesawat ya, uang pesawat udah masuk, uang makan 3 kali sehari, uang cuci baju ya, textbook, biaya buku kan ya, textbook, everything include inside there. Udah masuk semua. Jadi total adalah 132 juta. Atau ya kalau kita bulatkan 140 juta lah setahun, udah all in ya. Coba bandingkan biaya ini dengan kalau kuliah-kuliah di tempat lain. Berapa biayanya? Semua harus masuk ya. Kuliah di Indonesia pun harus dihitung. Kamu tinggal di kamar, tinggal di rumah sendiri, di kamar itu kena biaya berapa kalau seandainya itu sewa. Ya, itu juga harus diperhitungkan. Jangan anggap di Indonesia kuliah murah, karena banyak yang tidak terhitung sebetulnya. Tinggal di rumah, pulang pergi diantar supir, ya, makan di rumah, mandi di rumah, pakai air, pakai listrik di rumah, uh, apa aja di rumah gratis, ya kan? Nonton TV gratis, padahal itu kan pakai listrik. Nah, jadi kalau mau banding mesti apple to apple supaya kita tahu sebetulnya biayanya itu berapa sih di Indonesia ini, ya. Jangan bandingkan di Indonesia tuh cuma uang sekolah saja dibandingkan dengan di sana yang keseluruhan termasuk makan, cuci baju semuanya dihitung. Ya, nggak apple to apple berarti, ya. Coba bandingkan sendiri aja nanti ketemu angkanya, ya. Nah, ini adalah lingkungan UIBE lagi salju ya, karena ini di utara, dia di utara, di UIBE itu di utara, jadi kalian akan ada kesempatan melihat salju, bermain salju ya, dingin-dinginan, experience pakai baju tebal, keren gitu ya. Bisa fashion ya. Eh, Lalu ini apa namanya, kurang lebih lingkungannya ya, lingkungannya seperti ini. Kamarnya ya, eh, library-nya ya, kurang lebih seperti ini. Ada kantin, ada gym, ada laundry. Laundry-nya gratis. Kita hanya, sorry, mesinnya disediakan. Kita hanya bayar cucinya. 1 kali cuci itu kurang lebih 10 remimpi. Ya, satu load, 1 kali masukin baju itu 10 remimpi gitu ya. Nah, jadi kita anggap seminggu cuci sekali lah baju itu ya. Nah, ini kira-kira seperti ini teman-teman, teman-teman kalian nanti di sana ya, orang dari mancanegara ya, macam-macam rupanya gitu ya, ada yang putih, ada yang hitam, ada yang merah, ada yang keriting, ada yang rambut lurus, macam-macam. Jadi kalian bisa belajar sifat dari masing-masing negara itu seperti apa ya. Ini yang membuat kita lebih apa, lebih bervariasi, lebih lebih apa, lebih ekspos kepada uh, lingkungan gitu ya. Kalau kita kuliah di Indonesia, kita nggak dapat seperti ini karena teman kita semua orang Indonesia. Paling ada 1 2 orang Korea doang gitu ya. Jadi you will not have this experience gitu ya, this opportunity gitu bergaul dengan orang dari mancanegara ya. Nah, teman kalian akan seperti ini. Banyak acara budaya-budaya ya, kita boleh ikut ya. Kehidupan kampus memang harusnya seperti ini. Kalau kuliah di sana itu saya sarankan kalian juga jangan hanya belajar, belajar, belajar gitu ya. Ikut aktif, ya kan? Expose yourself gitu ya. Olahraga ke, budaya ke, apa ke gitu ya. Hobi apa ke gitu. Yang penting pokoknya uh, apa, manfaatkan waktu Anda di sana. Di samping kita apa, menyalurkan hobi ya, kita membangun networking juga dengan teman-teman di sana ya. Nah, nanti kalian bisa bikin snowman. Oke, itu sekian dari saya ya. Apa foundation, introduction saya untuk UIBE dan foundation, mudah-mudahan cukup jelas ya. Kalau nanti ada yang kurang jelas, boleh menghubungi kami. Nomornya ada di sana atau nomor yang tadi di sebelah nama saya juga ada nomor nomor WA kami, boleh hubungi kami ya. Terima kasih. Saya kembalikan ke apa MC.
Oke, ya. Terima kasih Pak Tanjung atas penjelasannya dan waktunya. Oke, kita sebelum melanjutkan ke presentasi yang selanjutnya, Saya akan memutarkan satu video untuk kita bisa saksikan bersama ya. Oke, kita langsung proses ke bagian selanjutnya ya untuk Dr. Evan. Oke, Evan Lauscher.
Yes,
Oke,
good evening.
go
Good
ahead.
evening. Yeah, so let me share my screen.
Oke, sure.
Okay, 1 second.
Oke, we have seen it. Okay, thank you.
All right, so if you allow me, I would start. I would begin our today's presentation. So first of all, good evening, dear students, dear colleagues, and of course, our longtime friends from the Dreaming 学院. So it is a great honor for me to be here today and represent our great university, University of International Business and Economics. My name is Ivan, and I am Associate Professor at the School of International Education of UIB. And University of International Business and Economics is one of the China's leading universities in the field of economics, business, international trade, and of course, global studies. So since its founding, UIB has been committed to connecting China with the world and preparing students to become future leaders in increasingly international and digital era. So at UIB, we're trying our best to bring together students and scholars from many different countries and backgrounds. And our goal is not only to provide them with a valuable knowledge, which will help them to create their businesses, build their careers, or even come up with new inventions, but also to build understanding between different cultures, between different people around the world, and of course, encourage innovation and develop practical studies to global challenges. So, in my own work, for example, I focus on international education, digital trade, and cross cultural communication. And I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to share ideas with all of you here today, and of course, represent my university in front of you today as well. I will share some of my personal learning as well as teaching experience at this university from my own perspective. And on behalf of UIB and myself, I would like to warmly welcome everyone here today and thank you for joining us. I hope that today's discussion will be inspiring, productive, and full of new ideas. So, as previously was mentioned by Mr. Tanjung, our university has the major accreditations, especially the School of International Business, has these accreditations as AICSB, QuizCamel, and MBA. And also, we've been considered as top-ranking university among China's multidisciplinary universities nowadays. So, our university has its own motto, which sounds like erudite, honest, and pursuing excellence. And we believe that these combination of words can describe what our students, teachers, professors, scholars' pursues are. We're trying to become more erudite people, to become more honest in our academic research, and of course, always trying to achieve excellence in our studies, in our work, and in our research as well. So UIB graduates also have played a leading role in China's reforms and opening up policy. In the 1990s, UIB graduates accounted for half of the total number of employees of the Ministry of Commerce of China. And in 1996, UIB became one of the first top universities in China to be selected in the 211 project. This is a very ambitious government plan which aims to transform about 100 Chinese universities into the top level, high quality academic institutions on the global stage in the 21st century. So our university has advantages in majors such as economics and trade, international economic law, finance, business administration, government management. And today I have a small surprise for all of you here today because we have just recently introduced a new breakthrough majors to offer for bachelor's and master's degree students. So hopefully you will find those new majors a little bit more interesting or fascinating than those majors which were introduced before, because we did our best to create a combination and set of such kind of majors which can satisfy the needs of different students from different countries and different backgrounds. So they're going to have to use this chance, use this time to introduce this whole new majors to you today. So UIB boasts also an impressive array of more than 150 research centers dedicated to conducting diverse research endeavors. So several of them stand out as renowned institutions in their respective fields. For example, the well-known Research Institute of the Digital Economy, WTO Research Center, Institute of International Economy, Institution of Education and Economy Research, Institute of Regional and International Studies Research, and also one of the most famous Institute for Global Value Chains Research, and of course, Academy of China Open Economy Studies. So being a student or a scholar at our university, you will have a chance to have a first-hand experience of participating into the most important researches which are conducted in the fields of economics and trade here at UIB. So in other words, you're going to have an experience to communicate with our brilliant professors, our brilliant researchers, and by doing so, enhance your own skills and understanding of the current economic development and trends. So the International University of Business and Economics is committed to opening the school and actively carrying out senior foreign exchanges. From the perspective of the scale and proportion of the amount of international students here on campus, our school is firmly in the leading positions. I can't say we are number one or number two, but at least we are in the top 10 of the Chinese universities. We are going to base it on such a variable as the amount of international students. And that's what us makes extremely proud of that many international students, they choose our universities instead of others, for example. So as previously was mentioned by Mr. Tanjung, Michael Spence, the winner of the Nobel Prize in Economics, Stephen Perry, the winner of the China's Reform of Friendship Medal, and Andreas Lascher, academician of the German National Academy, they are all holding academic positions in our university. And sometimes when we're holding some major international scientific conferences, they participate either online or offline in these conferences and deliver very interesting and intriguing speeches, which helps us to create even more impactful research in future, both for professors here and for the students. So this is a very valuable and very cherishable experience if you're going to see these amazing, brilliant researchers in life, right? And you're going to learn from them during the conferences and lectures. So let's take a look at some of the current numbers in comparison with other universities in China, of course. So first of all, we are having 16,000 full-time schooling students. Among them, more than 2,200. I would be more precise if I'm going to correct this number, because this year we are having a little bit more students than before. We have reached the amount of 2,400 students almost this academic term. And all of these students are coming from different parts and corners of the world, so from more than 165 countries all over the world. And this is the main advantage of our university, that you're going to have the chance to experience, learn the different cultures. Also, we are one of the top universities in the field of business and economics. We've been ranking number 99th in Asia University Rankings in 2023. We are holding the third position among Chinese economic and finance universities. Our employment rate of graduates has reached almost 96.1% in 2022, and 28.2% of our graduates entered the world's top 500 enterprises. I think that this numbers speaking louder than any words in terms of describing how powerful our university is in terms of guaranteeing that after graduation, you're going to have a bright future and you will be able to find a stable work, stable development path in this extremely unstable world. So the school has 30 teaching and research units and more than 140 research centers. And also we are having cooperation and exchange relationship with more than 300 famous universities and institutions in 56 countries and regions around the world. And it's not only limited in terms of the academic research or scientific research, but we also have a lot of cooperation in terms of preparing our students. For example, we have a huge partnership network in the Southeast Asia with Indonesia, with Malaysia. We're coming up with the new types of educational program when the first year or half of the first year you can stay in your own country in our special centers designed to make a transition smoother from your own country to UIB, and then spend the rest of the time learning your major bachelor degree, for example, here at UIB. So by doing that, you can save an enormous amount of money, an enormous amount of expenses by studying for the first year, for example, in your own country, and for the rest of the 3 years in UIB here in Beijing. I think from the economical perspective, that's also a very good opportunity for students to save some amount of budget in order to obtain high quality, high level of education. So now I have prepared a special slide for you today as far as all of you are coming from the country of Indonesia. I have made some statistics about how many Indonesian students do we have right now enrolled in our programs. We have roughly 90. Of course, this is not 100% precise value because probably it's either a little bit higher or a little bit lower this level, but most of our Indonesian students who are studying currently at UIB doing their degree in bachelor studies. studies. Then the second major group is the master students, followed by non-degree students, which is roughly 11%. Then followed by PhD students. We have almost 8% out of these 90 students pursuing PhD degrees from Indonesia. And also we have preparatory courses, about 5% of students coming from Indonesia. So what is top 3 majors ranking based on the information which we have obtained from students from Indonesia? So the first is international economics and trade, second is business administration, and third is finance. And I have to be honest with you at this point that these 3 majors are among top level majors in Chinese universities, as if you're going to look at the Chinese universities in terms of business and economics at a whole scale. These 3 majors are ranked top 1 in the national ranking system. Only these 3 majors which are represented on your screens. So now let's make a brief introduction to the international programs. And as I promised to you earlier, we're going to have a few surprises for you today, because we have done a huge upgrade in terms of the availability of different majors for our international students this year. So first of all, let's take a look at the features and strengths of UIB's international education. We have 3 focus areas: supporting national diplomatic strategies, assisting Chinese enterprises in their global expansion, and contributing to talent development for China. So in 2012, we have established China's first, in terms of this country, career guidance center for international students. This is something which has never seen before in other universities. In our university, traditionally, we had a huge amount of students coming from different countries. So that was a number one priority for the leaders of our university, to create such a center, which is working until nowadays. We are having this kind of job fair for international students being held almost 2 or 3 times per term. So that's definitely giving you a wide range of opportunities to learn about the Chinese enterprises which are having presence in your country or some other countries all over the world, and then choose what is best for you. In 2014, we've launched the internship and employment platform for international students, introducing a new model for university enterprise collaboration. And back in 2017, we have initiated the Belt and Road International Youth Innovation and Entrepreneurship Program, which is called WINE program. It has already helped a lot of international students to find their path for career in China and also back in their own countries. So here I have a few pictures with an introduction of this WINE program, what kind of events we've been holding. Well, for example, on this picture at the down left corner, you can see we have arranged some of the activities for our students at the Shunfeng Express company, which is one of the most impactful companies in the transportation services in China. Also, we are arranging all of those career fairs for students regularly. Here at the at the right down corner, you can see our International Plaza Building A. This is one of the most beautiful buildings on campus, and usually we arrange this kind of job fairs exactly in that building, so students can come there, pick up their resume, and then probably drop this CV to any company they like. So another contributing to the Belt and Road Initiative is the Financial and Economic University Alliances, which we are rapidly developing during the last 10 to 15 years. So this alliance has been established on September 17 in 2021, and it was an initiative which was initiated by UIBE, and we have 20 universities joined this program at that particular moment, including institutions from China, Austria, Bulgaria, Portugal, Greece, Russia, Tunisia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Brazil, Mexico, and Georgia. So what is the target of this major project for international students? Mainly to promote international cooperation and research sharing among financial and economic universities worldwide, enhance the global influence of financial and economic institutions, contribute to global common development. And the future vision of this great program is to strengthen partnership among member universities, foster interdisciplinary collaboration, and drive international academic and research development. So among our many programs, we have one which stands beyond others, and this is definitely, without any hesitations, I would say it's preparatory program. Our university, approved by Ministry of Education in 2015, trains Chinese government scholarship preparatory students and serve as a secretariat of the Preparatory Education Steering Committee, contributing to national research organization and coordination efforts. So through years of this kind of experience and continuous innovation in this field, we have developed a preparatory education model characterized by a strong focus on economics and trade, balancing quality and efficiency. So our preparatory program education features integrated management of teaching, academic affairs, and accommodation, emphasizing the cultivation of students' comprehensive learning abilities and fostering a deep understanding and friendship and love for China. So since 2018, we have also been receiving preparatory students in science and engineering, which is also a breakthrough for our university, because traditionally we are only in charge of management, economics, and law kind of majors, right? Social sciences. But in 2018, we managed to obtain this kind of a breakthrough, this kind of a milestone achievement for us, is that we have received a right to prepare students for the science and engineering majors in the Chinese language. So that's the implementation of a dual track training model for students in economics, trade, and STEAM fields. So in recent years, our preparatory students have consistently ranked among the top in graduation exams, securing the first position for 5 consecutive years. As for the fall semester of 2024, we have trained over 1,400 Chinese government scholarship preparatory students. So we have an enormously big experience in preparing students for the next step, learning their major in Chinese, regardless whether it's undergraduate or postgraduate major. We have a very solid background in terms of preparing students for this particular step. So now let me briefly introduce you with our bachelor programs. First of all, we're going to take a look at the Chinese programs. So apart from the traditional programs, which usually selected widely by international students, such as international economy and trade, finance, logistics management, accounting, Chinese language and literature, we have introduced some of the new programs this term. So right down below our traditional majors, we have introduced 4 new majors for our international students, which is a 2+2 double degree programs. Among them, there are Chinese language and literature in combination with international politics. This is like a major and minor program combined together. During graduation ceremony, you're going to receive 2 certificates at the same time. The first is going to be your degree certificate, for example, for political science, and the second one is going to be for the Chinese language and literature. Another is also a combination of a language and international economic and trade, and the third one is actually the Chinese language in combination with the public administration. So by creating these 3 particular majors, we did our best to consider as much interest of international students as it is possible, not only in terms of political science, but also in terms of economical science and in terms of the management. So it's like 3 top priorities for international students combined in one particular field together with the Chinese language. So isn't it a beautiful program which helps you not only have a very decent level of Chinese language upon graduation, but also have a solid background in the major which you're interested in? And also, we have a small international experimental class, which also starts from our upcoming 2026 autumn term, which is English, Business, and Financial Communication. That's going to be a fully designed program specifically tailored for our international students community. And we're going to see how it's going to work after 2 or 3 years. But we have a really high expectations about these 4 programs, especially first 3 of them, which is the combination of Chinese language and the major in political science, economic science, or management science. The next stop is going to be English programs. And here we have even greater breakthrough. I believe that many of you already rapidly using AI platforms such as ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Doubao, or any other types of platforms. And I believe you're extremely interested in how this new technology is going to shape our lives, shape the future of the whole planet. Let's put it straightforward, right? Because this technology is something which is going to increase the level of development of technology and the technological progress by such a high level that we have never experienced or seen before. So in order to address this remarkable challenge for universities, we have created a brand new program, which is called Artificial Intelligence. So we have this program on the top of economics, international economics and trade, finance, and others. So now we're also ready to offer fully English taught program for international students community in the field of artificial intelligence. So if you're interested, please feel free to apply for this program for the upcoming autumn term. So that's what in terms of the bachelor programs. And now let me briefly introduce you with our application requirements and what kind of materials you have to prepare in order to apply smoothly for these programs. First of all, you need to have a high school diploma and good health condition. Applicants under 18 need to submit notarized guardianship certificate upon the approval of UIBE. So as soon as you're going to apply, we're going to see that you're slightly below 18 years old, and then we're going to send you the list of documents which you have to prepare in order to smoothly prepare your entry visa and eventually the residence permit here in Beijing in China. So don't worry about that. As soon as you apply, our admission officers are going to get in touch with you immediately and introduce what kind of documents you have to prepare. Now, application materials, very simple, but at the same time, slightly more challenging than before. First of all, a copy of the high school graduation certificate and transcript, then guarantor's passport or ID, which could be your mom, dad, or some of your relatives as well. Also, a copy of your passport photo. If you are applying for the Chinese top programs, you need to submit the new HSK level 4 with minimum 180 points or higher or above that level. If your previous degree was taught completely in Chinese, as far as I know, in Indonesia, you have such schools like that, right? Where you have an education 100% in Chinese language, then in this case, you can be exempted from taking the HSK, 汉语水平考试. You can just submit us with a certification of your education language. So if you were completely taught in Chinese language, then we're going to accept that as the HSK certificate. If you're applying for the English majors, on the other hand, we have some requests about your English language certificate. For example, you have to provide us with TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo, or GRE, or Cambridge International AS, A-level, IGCSE, or IB scores report or equivalent. So the minimum score for TOEFL is 86 points and 6.0 points for IELTS, as well as 120 points for Duolingo, or BBC level or above for A level, and satisfactory GRE scores or equivalent if you have any other type of certificate, of course. Also, we are asking you to provide us with asset certificate. Usually this certificate have to show that you have enough amount of money on your bank account which can cover the tuition fees, and also the certificate of no criminal convictions, so-called no criminal records certificate. So that's in terms of the application documents and the requirements, very basic requirements which we provide to our international students. So now another important notice for you is the Chinese top programs and master's degree program. I believe that many of you right now are doing your high school degrees or high school programs, but in future, probably after graduating from the undergraduate program, you will consider to apply for the master's degree level, right? Which is, of course, an important milestone for many students nowadays, because don't forget that the educational and academic degrees, they're right now going through the stage of rapid devaluation. So what was a very high level of education 20 years ago, for example, for bachelor's degree, right now considered as pretty much high school degree. What was very cool, for example, 10 years ago for having master's degree, right now master's degree is considered as the bachelor's degrees, and PhD level right now considered as the master's degree level as well. That's why many people trying to pursue their postdoctoral degrees nowadays, because there is a rapid devaluation in terms of the degree education. So later on, you can also consider to do the master's degree program at UIBE, which is probably also going to be a very good choice for your future education. You can choose among the majors such as international, trade, finance, international law, public administration, international relations, teaching Chinese to speakers of other languages, and so on and so far. And here in English taught programs, we have, again, the small surprise, which is also a unique presentation of this newly introduced majors during our today's meeting. We have introduced two majors in the field of quantitative economics for our English taught master's degree students. The first is called Quantitative Economics Digital Economy track. We do know the digital economy is extremely hot field in the economic research nowadays. Many companies are in a great demand for this type of specialists and this type of graduates, and also the same major, quantitative economics, but in the field of intelligent data analytics track. So that's another very hot topic nowadays, which is closely related to the artificial intelligence and big data analysis. So if you're going to select one of these two majors in future, I believe you will definitely find a really good position in some of the companies which are right now in the great need of the specialist in terms of digital economy and data analytics. So now let me very briefly introduce you with our doctor's programs. For Chinese taught programs, we have the following list of majors, including fields of economics, management, law science, as well as some of the humanitarian sciences as well. And for the English taught programs, PhD level, we have again the economics, management, international law, as well as international relationship majors. So looking at the screen right now, you can check what kind of majors we have available for our PhD students. So now I can't avoid a very important issue such as the entrance exams, right? As far as many of you do know very well, the new way of applying for the Chinese universities is not taking exams independently in each and every institution around the China, but to participate the unified examination system, which is called CSCA. Starting from 2024, the Ministry of Education started to implement the entrance examination for international undergraduate students. So for the next 2 to 3 years, this examination will operate on a trial phase with results serving simply for reference. And after this trial period, it will become a mandatory requirement. So our university is not exception in these terms. Right now, we are also requiring all of our students to submit CSCA certificate to us. But of course, final decision is not being done only based on the how many points you have obtained for CSCA exam. We're also going to make a comprehensive review of your high school diploma, of your high school transcript, of some of your achievements in the social life and also in your process of studying. And also we're going to have a look at the CSCA certificate by seeing how high level of the math or Chinese language do you have right now in the current stage. So this certificate right now is also a very important, a crucial part during your application stage. So let me briefly introduce you with the requirements of our university, UIBE. What kind of requirements do we give to our international students who are applying to our university? First of all, for Chinese taught bachelor's requirements, we are asking our applicants to provide CSCA transcript in Chinese language. We are accepting the both types of the exam for arts and sciences streams. And at the same time, we're also requiring to provide us with mathematics results. So we will holistically evaluate applicants based on their previous academic performance, CSCA exam results, country and region of origin, and other relevant factors to select the most exceptional candidates. And for English taught programs, on the other hand, we have a requirement of only one discipline, which is the mathematics in English. So if you're applying for our IUP, International Undergraduate English taught programs, you have to take only one exam right now for CSC. It is mathematics. So speaking of the upcoming exams, we have one date which is still reserved. We still haven't started the process of receiving applications for this time. It is June 27th, 2026. As far as you can see on the screen, this part highlighted in the red square right over here, it's still not started yet. But as far as you can see, the previous periods for the April and for the March have already been finished, right? In terms of the application, we can see that this period has been already finished. And those who applied, they're going to take this exam very, very soon, within a few days. So if you have plans to apply in Chinese universities for the upcoming fall term in 2026, highly recommended to find some time and apply for the 27th of June entrance exam, CSCA entrance exam. So now we're entering to the next step of today's presentation, and probably this part is going to be very interesting and very fascinating for many of you. It is called scholarships, right? In fact, China is one of the most generous countries in the world in terms of scholarships. As for 2023, we had almost 450,000 of international students who are studying in China, and who are actually, among them, we have 20 to 30% who are enjoying the full funded scholarship from the Chinese government. So in our university, you can select out of 4 basic types of the scholarship, which including the Beijing Municipal Government Scholarship, International Chinese Language Teacher Scholarship, Chinese Government Scholarship, which is the most desired scholarship by many international students, as well as some of the UIB rewards for each term for the most exceptional students. At the same time, we have a more specific scholarship, such as the China Development Bank Scholarship or Ministry of Commerce Scholarship, which is created specifically for those people who are representing some of the organizations, business circles, as well as the government organizations in the foreign countries. And if they would like to pursue education in China, for example, master's or PhD level, these scholarships are also available for them. But for you, as for our prospective student, we are going to concentrate only on 2 of them, which are Beijing Municipal Government Scholarship and the Chinese Government Scholarship. So allow me to start with the first one. Here we have a brief introduction of the different conditions and forms of this scholarship at UIBE. First of all, the Beijing Municipal Government Scholarship from the last year is only available for the Chinese taught degree programs. It has 3 different categories. Category A stands for the scholarship, which covers tuition fees, accommodation fees, living expenses, and comprehensive medical insurance for only 1 academic year. So if after applying for this scholarship you're receiving it, you can enjoy education free of charge in China, in UIB, for 1 year. Now you may have a very simple question. Can I receive the same scholarship during the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th years of studies? Absolutely. If you're an outstanding student, this scholarship is also opened for our all students applications. So if you feel confident, if you have really good results, then you can apply during the second, third, and fourth academic years consecutively for this scholarship. So the next category is Cat B, is called scholarship which covers tuition fees, accommodation fees, and comprehensive medical insurance. For category C, this is the most simple one. It covers tuition fees and comprehensive medical insurance. So applicants should submit their application to the University of International Business and Economics between May and June each year. So the scholarship results will be announced roughly in the end of July. We're going to make a comprehensive review and see who deserves it the most, and then we're going to release the results and information on our official website. So if you're interested in learning more about this particular type of scholarship, please scan the QR code which you can see on your screen. This QR code is going to lead you to the link which will include the most comprehensive information about this type of scholarship at UIBE. Now, let me move to the next one, and I think this is one of the most fascinating scholarships for the international students community. It is called CSC, Chinese Government Scholarship Type A. Why is it so important for you guys, especially for those who are doing high school degrees right now? Because it covers bachelor's level. Unfortunately, in our university, it only covers bachelor's degree in Chinese language. On the other hand, at the same time, this scholarship also covers master's and PhD level for both Chinese and English type programs. But for bachelor's level, unfortunately, it's only available right now in Chinese. So this is a bilateral program between the Chinese government and government of your own country, which provides both full scholarship and partial types of them. So for the full scholarship, it covers tuition fees, accommodation, stipend, and comprehensive medical insurance for 4 consecutive years while you're going to pursue your undergraduate degree education. So when and how to apply for this particular type of scholarship, once again, you can scan the QR code, which you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, which will lead you to the link, which will open the brief introduction of this scholarship with the precise application procedures. But usually, in a nutshell, we can say that application period happens between the early January and the early April. So as for now, the application is basically already closed for all countries, pretty much all of the countries. So how can you learn about how to apply for this scholarship? You have to get in touch with the Chinese embassy or other organizations in charge of this communication between the CSC and your own country about the specific deadlines for application, because it differs a lot. For example, the application in country A can be completely different compared with the deadline for application in country B. So you have to always check this information twice with the Chinese embassy or other organization in charge of this work in your country. So here on the screen, you can see a basic 4 steps procedure. If you're interested in applying for this scholarship, you can refer once again to the QR code, which you can see on your screen, and learn more about the process of application for this scholarship. At the same time, we have the CSC Chinese Government Scholarship Type B. This is a more case-specific scholarship because it's called the high-level postgraduate. It is only available for our master's and PhD students, for our prospective students who would like to pursue postgraduate degrees. So once again, if you're interested in more details about this scholarship, please scan the QR code, which you can see at the down left corner of the screen. Also, here is the brief introduction to the procedures on how to apply for this scholarship. Again, 4 steps, extremely simple. Read application guidelines, then apply through our university and through the CSC portal. For example, this year in 2026, we had a deadline until February 28th. Of course, this deadline differs every year, but in general, we have this deadline until the end of February every single year. So if there are any students who would like to apply for the master's or PhD level degrees, you can also check the link which you can see on your screen for more information about this particular type of scholarship. Also, we have the Silk Road Scholarship Program. It goes with the Belt and Road initiatives and aims to develop talents with a broad international horizon, comprehensive quality, and cross-cultural background. Unfortunately, here we have significantly less majors which we can put on the table for our students, but at the same time, these majors are also very impactful. For example, in international business and cross-border e-commerce, public administration, customs management, and WTO law and economics. These are English taught 2 years master's degree programs. So unfortunately, we don't have majors available for bachelor's, undergraduate, or PhD degree students for the Silk Road Scholarship Program. It's only available for 3 majors at the master's degree level. And also, we have another type of scholarship which you might find very interesting. It is called International Chinese Language Teachers Scholarship. So this program is committed to training local Chinese language teachers, reserve teachers, top Chinese language professionals. And this scholarship funds two kinds of activities: degree program and short-term study in China. So for the degree program, we have two levels, which are bachelor and master's degree. And for the non-degree programs, we have two programs as well, which is the business Chinese and elementary Chinese. So this is a fully funded scholarship which covers tuition fees, accommodation fees, monthly stipend, and comprehensive medical insurance. So for this scholarship, you're receiving the same treatment as our Chinese government CSC students. So when and how to apply? Actually, it's very easy. Once again, application starts between early January and finishes roughly in May. So for more information, you can contact us, UIBE, for more specific deadlines and information. And for online application, you can visit that link below to submit your application documents on the website of Center for Language Education and Cooperation. So in the end of today's presentation, I would like to say a few words about our opportunities for international students in terms of the practice, and say a few words about our outstanding and most notable alumni. Of course, if I'm going to introduce to you all of our famous alumni who achieved a tremendous success after graduating from UIB, I think I'm going to spend at least 5 or 6 days by doing so. So today I'm going to concentrate only on the most remarkable people who were able to achieve their success, regardless their background, only due to their education which they received in this university. So first of all, we have internship bases in over than 30 famous enterprises. We are arranging visits and extracurricular activities to these enterprises to make students familiar with the workflow in these companies, and also with some of the opportunities in terms of work which these companies provide for foreigners in China. So we are arranging annual international students job fair. We have career advisory center, as I mentioned earlier. We have also some of the recreational activities for students, such as International Volunteer Center and International Alumni Association. And I highly encourage you, if you have the WeChat account, to scan these two QR codes to learn more about the students' life in the walls of this campus, in the walls of this university. I believe that you're going to realize how colorful and how diverse, how interesting it is to become the student of UIB, because you're definitely going to have a chance to talk almost to every corner of this beautiful planet Earth, right? So please take your time, scan the QR code, and learn more about the activities at this university. Also, UIB has developed a rich and powerful extracurricular activities and promoted the comprehensive abilities for international students. For example, such as 100 Students Association International Cultural Festival, which is among the most impactful festivals in Beijing. We always have a lot of guests coming from different organizations, including embassies, including the Embassy of Indonesia here in Beijing. We have government officials from your country visiting, pay an official visit during this cultural event. And this is one of the most fascinating time on campus, when all of these people from different parts of the world living together and celebrating their cultures like one big family. So this is something which I highly believe you're going to like when you arrive to UIB. And also we have some recreational and other types of volunteer activities for our students as well. So last year, we have also successfully held the 70th anniversary of International Alumni Forum. And as far as you can see, we have invited people from many backgrounds, from many different companies who achieved a tremendous success after graduation. And during this alumni forum, where they have shared a lot of their personal experience with our new generations of students, and they shared a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts about how to achieve success nowadays. So imagine that in UIB, you're not only going to achieve a tremendous amount of knowledge, right? Tremendous amount of skills, but at the same time, you're going to develop your network to such heights that probably a regular person is unable to achieve if he or she is not studying in this kind of environment, like environment we have here at UIB. So among our famous alumni, there are a few of which standing apart. First is the Dr. Zdzisław Goralczyk, the ex-ambassador of Poland in China and the current advisor of Premier of Poland and chairman of the Polish-Chinese Friendship Association. Another remarkable person is the Professor Thomas J. Christensen, ex-assistant secretary of State of America. Also, Mr. Peter Wilson, the ex-counselor for government affairs of UK Embassy in China and now is the UK deputy representative to the United States nations. Mr. Wei Hui Huang, the current counselor for business affairs of Vietnam Embassy in China. Mr. Peso Diniz Richardson, Brazilian Parliamentary Secretary for International Relations, and of course, Mr. Puntil Jongjit Rakon, Deputy Minister of Commerce of the Kingdom of Thailand. So here you can see a few photos of our on-campus facilities. Once again, I'm not going to stop here for a long time because Mr. Tanjung has already made a very comprehensive introduction to what kind of facilities do we have. For example, the gym, right, the stadium, the classrooms. As you can see here, we have also a lot of shops, a lot of areas, zones when you can have some time for relaxation and talking to your friends and your professors and maybe your teachers. So we have a very, very comprehensive infrastructure on campus to satisfy all different needs of our international student community. So in conclusion, I believe that through cooperation, through dialogue and mutual understanding, we can create more opportunities for our students, our institutions, and our shared future. So I highly encourage you to apply to our university to realize new heights, realize your potential, realize your capabilities here in the world of this extremely diverse, extremely vibrant, and extremely beautiful community. So if you have any further questions, please feel free to visit our official website, sie.uib.edu.cn, or send us an email if you're applying for a program in Chinese to degreeinchinese@163.com, for program in English at degreeinenglish@163.com, and for language programs for non-degree at 163.com. Also, feel free to follow us on our major social media and social accounts in Facebook, in Instagram, in X, and also on the WeChat. And here at the top right corner, you can see our official account in the WeChat. So hope that you're going to have a chance to visit our beautiful campus very, very soon. And we are here to celebrate and to welcome you as our new students and future. Thank you very much for your attention. If you're going to have any further questions, I'll be more than glad